But sports also contain magic. When time and place collide, and we all get to witness a dream coming true.
Davey Millsaps has done it. He's won his first Supercross, and it comes in his home race in Georgia.
Monster Energy Supercross gets underway right now on Speed. Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship. Round 9 comes your way as a final event to take place inside the famed RCA Dome in Indianapolis, Indiana. Hi everybody, I'm Ramsey alongside former Supercross champion Jeff Emig, and that's right, this is the final event to take place inside the RCA Dome. Next year, we'll be right across the street in a brand new building. So somebody's gonna make some history here tonight. The big question is, will it be one of the riders from Honda, because the Big Red resurgence has been awfully impressive as of late.
Honda has been awesome lately with Windham taking a win and then Davey Millsaps taking a win. You can see as you look back to 2006 and 2007, they only had 9 podiums in those 2 years. Now they've had 10 podiums and 2 wins. I'm telling you, it's been awesome. Honda has been the team that has really peppered Chad Reed in the qualifying practice, the heat races, and now winning those 2 main events. It's Team Honda that's really putting the pressure on.
It had been a 53-race winless streak before Kevin Windham's victory at Houston's Reliance Stadium. Then Millsaps wins last week in Atlanta, and they swept the podium. With more on the Davey Millsaps story, here's our Aaron Bates.
Imagine just for a moment that everything that you've ever worked for as far as your Supercross career goes comes together in front of your hometown crowd. That's exactly what happened to the number 118 of Davey Millsaps last weekend, celebrating his very first Supercross victory in Atlanta. Davey, you've gone through a lot of struggles over the past, a lot of injuries and some health problems. What did this win mean to you?
Oh, it meant everything, you know. It's just like a dream come true, just like my first Supercross win, and it was actually here in Indy, and you know, it's just, there's not a lot of names to the list of Supercross wins on, you know, in the big bike class, so I'm just glad to be added to the list.
Now, you've really elevated your game this year, stepped it up, but your starts have royally improved. What's the motivation behind those?
I got to give it to the Live Nation people. They've bumped it up with the 30-second car girls this year, and just I'm trying to get first to the corner just to get them, but no, I'm just messing around. I'm taking.
If you start out front, it's much easier to make your way through the pack. Davey Millsaps, he got his very first taste of sweet success last weekend and looks to do it again here tonight in Indy.
Well, he's certainly going to be one of the top contenders here tonight, Aaron, but you have to wonder about Chad Reed. The Yamaha rider is the points leader, but Jeff, he hasn't been looking that great last couple of rounds.
Yeah, the last 2 rounds, Chad Reed has really had some problems, and that's allowed, you know, Windham has won a race, Millsaps has won the race, but they really haven't picked up many points on Chad Reed. One of the biggest problems is because we have 7 of the top factory stars are not racing here tonight. So when a rider like Reed goes down, like last week, he came up to a 6th place. Had those other 7 riders been in there, that could have easily been a 12th or 13th.
You have to wonder who's going to make the history here tonight and be the rider to win the last ever AMA Monster Energy Supercross event inside the RCA Dome. Maybe it'll be David Vuillemin as he makes his way into the Dome. We'll be right back to Indy.
Truckers
Warner Trophy. You don't get that for winning here tonight. You do if you win the Indianapolis 500 coming up this May. This is a look inside the famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum and Hall of Fame. And there's some incredible machinery there, including two-wheeled kind. Nicky Hayden's MotoGP bike. Of course, MotoGP coming to the Brickyard this September. You going to be here for that, Jeff?
I'm going to try to make it, that's for sure.
I'll be there for sure. Wouldn't miss that. Supercross Heat 1 is coming up, so let's show you our Supercross 411. 2 heats, top 9 goes straight to the main, and a last chance qualifier, which will give us our final 2 riders for the 20-rider, 20-lap main event. We are at the halfway point in the season, round 9 of 17. Here's our MX versus ATV Untamed track map.
Well, the thing about this, it's got a nice long start again, but these rhythm sections right through here are going to be key to tonight's racing. Lots of traction, fairly soft track. It's going to be awesome.
And a progressive pre-race report now from Aaron Bates.
He's sitting in second place in the West Coast Light Supercross class, but the number 28 of Ryan Dungey is making his Supercross debut here tonight in Indy. If you can recall his last few races, he made some mistakes that cost him not only the points lead, but he's now sitting in second, 6 points behind Jason Lawrence. He's learning so far the hard way, though, that the Supercross class is not going to be a walk in the park. Today during practice, all eyes were on him when he crashed not only once by himself, but 2 times. Obviously, mental focus is still a factor for him. He's trying to regroup and regain some confidence. So hopefully we will not see these uncharacteristic mistakes made by the young Ryan Dungey.
So much skill. What's going on in the mental section for Ryan Dungey?
He is just really trying hard to do the best he can, and maybe just going a little too far. Those mistakes in practice that really just, he's got road rash all over himself. You know, it's just from little lapse of concentration. He needs to get it together.
Here's your on board with Cole Siebler getting set to go. Heat 1. And guess who got the whole shot? Dungey. Dungey got the whole shot, and he's running right with Chad Reed. And jumping into the mix is Kevin Windham.
Well, you can sure tell who the veterans were. There was that triple into the turn. Dungey backed off. Reed and Windham both went for it and just flew past Dungey there in the second turn.
Josh Hansen having a good run in 4th from the 100.
You see, these riders all were in a different sync there, and Dungey gets to the inside of Windham.
Great move by Ryan Dungey. And the Houston winner comes right up alongside the youngster. Back goes Windham. Remember, this is a Chad Reed designed racetrack. And we saw what happened in Houston where Windham designed the track. He took the win. So this could be, should be, I would think, a good night for Reed. He should feel very comfortable.
Well, if that kind of karma, or whatever you want to call it, comes back for Chad Reed, this would be a good time for him. See Kevin Windham closing right back up on the back of Chad Reed once again. And Kevin Windham, here he's going to switch it up now. He's trying the same line as Reed. This is a very difficult section that these riders are going through here. To jump it like that is very risky, and you really have to have your timing very precise.
What a great learning curve for Ryan Dungey, though. Your first team race, and you're battling like that with Reed and Kevin Windham, 2 of the best there ever have been or will be.
And this section here is massive. You triple off that, triple into the turn. You see Windham just nailing it perfectly. Made a little mistake coming out the turn, and you can see just how quickly Chad Reed pulls away. This is a great chance for Ryan Dungey to really learn something from the veterans of Supercross. He's holding his own with riders that have won races this year.
Let's go back to the start and look at the rocket start that Dungey gets.
Just watch for a yellow front fender right there in the middle, just to distance himself from the other riders. We're going to have to look at how the first turn shapes up. Chad Reed actually came around the outside.
And this is where it all changed right there.
And Windham goes to the inside, yeah, real quick from first to third.
Chad was like, was that Dungey there with me? You can see, he took a look back to see who was on that yellow bike. Battle for 5th going on back here. That should be Heath Voss on the red machine. He's battling with Jason Thomas. Thomas is on the 37. He holds down 6th right now.
Thomas setting in 6th right now. Johnson actually setting in 7th. He's just behind these lead 2 in the back of your screen there. Practice, Johnson was really riding well. I was impressed not only by his lap times, but just by what he was doing on the track, how he was working the bike.
That's Brian Johnson. Here's Heath Voss and Jason Thomas in between them. Voss, of course, a former World Supercross champion. He's had a bumpy year this year, Jeff.
And he's having a bumpy lap right now. You can see these three riders, that's Carpenter, 42 in the back of this group of four here. They have really put the pressure on Heath Voss. He's going to have to eliminate the mistakes.
That's Paul Carpenter you're talking about on the 42. Was it at Phoenix where Voss knocked himself out?
It was one of the Anaheim races, yeah. He took a really hard spill. These Supercross riders are tough. I'm telling you, this is a midway to the season. We have 7 factory stars that are out at this point. These riders here have managed to keep it on 2 wheels, keep racing in those points, but it's not easy. Every one of these riders out here is riding with some sort of bump or bruise or sore body part.
Carpenter getting around Johnson. Of course, these guys are all inside the top 9. Those are the names in green across the top of your screen. Those are all transfer spots.
So these riders right now inside the top 9, but each position gives you a better pick at the gate. The better pick at the gate that you have for the main event, better opportunity you have for that great start, which is so important in the main.
Voss looks like he's lost the spot to Thomas. And JIRI DOSTAL holds down the final transfer spot right now as Johnson goes by. Well, things have moved around in there. There's RIVAS. He's moved up now. And also the 124 DOSTAL. So let's see where they all shake out when they cross the line. See who moves where. RIVAS now has a final spot. So DOSTAL 1 spot out of it.
He just gave that position up on the last lap. See DOSTAL taking a look over his shoulder.
That's Bright on the 709. So Tyler Bright trying to get in there and mixing it up from Lexington, North Carolina. Here's your race leader. Look at Chad Reed just right around the bowl turn.
Really has got a great flow here tonight.
But not a huge lead though, Jeff. He's only 1.3 seconds in front of Windham.
Well, both these riders, there's a reason why there are points leaders. It's because they've been good all year long. Kevin Windham is really awesome. Our lap times right now, 45.8 for Chad Reed. His best time's a 45.2.
And Windham actually with a quicker pass than a 45.23.
Yeah, that's Windham is on the gas. Windham has had this win has really helped his confidence and his hopes.
And the white flag is out. 1 more lap to go for Chad Reed. And he's got some traffic in front of him, and we'll have to see how that plays out with Windham giving chase through the rhythm section.
Now you can see the lap riders. That was Platt right there that kind of took Reed's line. That could enable Windham to really close up, make this last half a lap a little more exciting than what Reed wants to have, and he wants it to be nice and boring.
Like Kevin Windham really ripping through that section.
Here's Reed here. This is coming backwards down the start straight. Watch his body and his upper body going through the whoops here. Watch how much the bike moves under him, but yet his head and shoulders stay nice and steady. That's the key to great style.
And he likes a checkered flag best of all. Chad Reed picks up the win here in Heat 1 in Indy. But Kevin Windham was right there. We'll be back to talk to the winner.
AMA Racing at Daytona
Down for this final event to close out this famed venue. These top 9 riders from Chad Reed to Brian Johnson are going on to the main. JIRI DOSTAL's got to go to the last chance qualifier. So Chad Reed should be feeling a little bit of momentum behind him right now, Aaron.
Momentum and also still a lot of pain from last weekend's crash. Chad went out there, heat race, no problem whatsoever on the track that you designed, but there was one section that you stopped and took a peek at there before heading up here. What is it about that section of track that needs to be fixed?
Yeah, I looked at that section and in practice, and when I designed the track, that was kind of what I envisioned happening. And man, K-Dub goes out there and does it before me, but we'll step it up in the main and give it a whirl. But you know, I think the track's awesome. They did a great job of prepping it from today. I was really ready in practice, and it's really coming around now. So hopefully we can get out there, have a good battle, and put this 2-2 up in front.
You can expect that tonight's track may work to Chad Reed's advantage.
Well, now you can get the latest race results and news right on your phone with weekly green alerts from Speed. Text KX to 773333 on your mobile phone to receive free motorcycle racing text alerts. Speed Green Alerts presented by Kawasaki. Let's take a look now at the highlights from Supercross Heat number 2. And Millsaps will get the whole shot of the 118. He got it all a week ago. He's looking to get a heat race win now. Andrew Short came up way short on the finish line shot.
Andrew Short there comes in on the inside of Hill there. Number 29, he comes through. And he gets cut off by Josh Hill, kind of forces him to the left. 4 laps to go for Andrew Short. He's got 3 riders in front of him. If you look at the lap times, he's definitely faster than these riders, but you can see there's just chaos going on.
I'm sorry, Jeff, that contact there with Gibson and Mavoli opened up the door for 2 more spots. Now he's in the top 9. For Davey Millsaps, winner of heat number 2. Here's the results from heat number 2. Millsaps down to Gibson going on to the main event. Antonio Balbi will lead the rest into the LCQ. Well, Aaron, Davey Millsaps has got to be getting awful custom to this checker flag thing.
The momentum is alive and well as Davey Millsaps celebrates his 2nd heat race win of the season. Davey, with Tim Ferry being injured this weekend and out for an undetermined amount of time at this point, what does this do as far as you and the championship hopes?
He'll be back next weekend. No, it's you know, definitely bumps it up. You know, have a better shot at getting 3rd in the points, even 2nd. I don't know. You know, they're pretty far ahead, but you know, it's gonna be a long year. Still a lot more races, and it's gonna be a fun season.
Congratulations on your heat win.
Thank you.
Well, the opening ceremonies rocked the house here, the RCA Dome. Davey Millsaps, believe it or not, has a lot of family here as well to inspire him to maybe his 2nd win. We'll be back for more racing from Indy after this.
Green flag, green.
And here tonight, taking in all the action at Monster Energy AMA Supercross inside the RCA Dome here in Indianapolis. The Circle City. Well, in 2004, it was Mike LaRocco, an Indiana native, who brought the house down by taking the win. Big celebration and a ride for his little boy. His dad claimed the checkered flag here inside the Dome. Well, since this is the last race here in the Dome, Mike LaRocco's back, Aaron.
He's back. The Rock is back in action, celebrating the last race here at the RCA Dome, and he wouldn't have missed it for the world. Mike, what brings you here, and what does this mean to you after all these years racing here at the RCA Dome?
Well, it's kind of sad. I mean, I had one of my best races here, so, you know, I'm going to miss it. I'm glad they're staying in Indianapolis, so, you know, for everybody else's sake. But I'll miss it. I miss it as it is, you know, let alone losing the Hoosier Dome, or the RCA Dome.
Hey, rumor has it that there is a possibility that you might come out of retirement. Is this true?
That's a rumor.
And we love rumors, but great to see Mike LaRocco back supporting all these riders out here. Thanks for coming and joining us, Mike.
Thanks.
Take a look at the battle for the final transfer spot out of the last chance qualifier. David Vuillemin would take the win. That's Ryan Clark on the 39. Balbi on the 55 tries to get him. Marsack on the 66 had to pass 2 guys on the last lap to get his shot at going to the main. He gets Balbi, and then big problems for Clark. He's off the course, and Marsack's going to the main. So Vuillemin and Marsack get the final 2 transfer spots, and Clark and Balbi just shake their heads.
Shake their heads. So disappointing for Clark.
Riders, including Kevin Windham, are out on the parade lap, and one of the biggest things is the communication between the rider and his mechanic. Earlier, we took a look at how that communication process works.
I tell you, the mechanic is a huge part of what goes on the track, and to have someone that you trust and can provide you with a sound machine week in, week out is very important, but their job goes so much further than that. I mean, they have to motivate you. They hear us behind the scenes, in front of the cameras, in front of the crowd, and a lot of them are in tune with when we're a little bit down or when things aren't going quite the way we want it to for the weekend. So it's an important job, well-rounded, and their job never ends.
Yeah, sometimes it's difficult, especially if you get a young rookie. Sometimes it's difficult as far as the transition that way, but he has to have good trust in you, and trust in, you know, if you have something to tell him that you think that we should change on the bike or whatever, he's got to have a lot of trust in that.
Carlos and I have been together for 7 years now. You know, it doesn't seem that long, but, you know, it's good because, you know, you see all the riders and mechanics that, you know, just work together, and Carlos and I, we have like a friendship, really good friendship, and You know, it's nice to have someone like that around all the time, because if he's watching me on the track, he can tell what's wrong. I come in, I'm like, you know, my front suspension's not working like this good, or, you know, not doing this. And he's like, well, you know, I'm watching you over here, it looks like it's tucking. And I'm like, yeah, that's basically what it is. So, I mean, he can see what's wrong with it, which is cool, because, you know, not a lot of mechanics can do that.
I believe it's very important to have a good relation with the rider, because, you know, the way he rides or the way he's going in the practice, you definitely see what he's doing, his style riding, and you can see when he's comfortable on the bike or not. Most definitely, you know.
We've been working together so long that you know, a lot of stuff doesn't even have to be said. It's weird, you know. I can just give him a look and he'll know what I'm thinking, and there's so many things that I don't have to worry about having it as my mechanic. I don't have to explain how I want my bike, and if little things aren't right, you know, he can already tell before I even pull in. So it just makes life a lot easier.
I think we have a big advantage because of what we know. I know what he likes to the point of fault. Okay, you know, a lot of times I'll make little adjustments on the bike, and he don't even tell me. You know, he don't even know it. You know, because it's just, we've been here so long that, you know, we kind of know what's going to happen before it happens.
There you see Kevin Windham and his mechanic working together. Josh Hill talking with his. Everybody chatting things up as we get ready. The main event right around the corner.
High school hero.
Motor Speedway over at the Brickyard, just a few miles outside of town over at Speedway, Indiana. Of course, you've also got Indianapolis Raceway Park here in the area, a lot of famous racetracks, and Gasoline Alley. Boy, so much history as you walk out to those yard of bricks. Just incredible. Enter to win the Dude for a Day Supercross style contest, where one lucky dude will win a trip to Vegas for the Supercross finals. Hang with the Kawasaki dudes and then take home your very own Kawasaki KX450F motorcycle. Log on to speedtv.com, keyword dude now. Let's check in with Aaron for a progressive pre-race report.
The number 40 of Josh Hill made a Supercross podium debut at Anaheim 2, taking a second place, but at this point of the season, he said he's not at all meeting his expectations. The team has worked extremely hard this past week, changing up a lot of settings on the bike, made some modifications, especially to the chassis and in particular the jetting. He said he's worked extremely hard and he's headed in the right direction, but what he's hoping, the only thing that matters here this evening is 2 gates over. He wants to beat the number 28 of Ryan Dungey.
Well, there you see Dungey. We were talking with Josh at breakfast today, Jeff. The biggest problem he's had all weekend is they lost his luggage. He's been borrowing stuff from everybody he knows in the paddock area all weekend long as our progressive starting grid goes across the top of the screen.
Well, Josh Hill was fastest qualifier today in qualifying practice at second round, so he definitely has some speed. But to win here tonight, I think the guy with the stars is going to end up holding it all the way. So I think the key is getting this whole shot.
On the 118.
There's Windham set back in 5th. He needs to get past Dungey here. That'll be that Honda freight train.
And Josh Hansen's in there too for the Joe Gibbs Racing Team, and Hill is back behind him.
Here comes Windham to the inside of Dungey.
Windham trying to make ground right alongside the Suzuki rookie. Remember Dungey in his first ever Supercross. Windham goes right by.
So smooth and precise, Kevin Windham missed.
So Honda running second, third, and fourth. Yamaha leading, and Yamaha hasn't won here inside Indianapolis since 2002.
It has been a long drought for Yamaha here. Chad Reed has been on the podium every time in 5 starts. You see how Chad Reed has just disappeared from short.
Jeff, he's been on that podium, but he's never been on the top step. Could come tonight.
These riders are really going to have to find something special because Chad Reed is dialed in on a track that he designed.
Did you see Millsap with that front wheel in the air go through the woods?
It's because he's on the throttle. He definitely has been on a roll here with that win last week. He's excited about winning another one. I tell you, you win one of these Supercross events, one's not enough. It's a great feeling.
Chad Reed said that after Houston,
When Windham took the win, it was a wake-up call. Well, he missed a wake-up call last week because Millsap snuck through. You got to figure he was ready to end that tonight.
Well, this is not only because Chad Reed designed this track, but this is his type of track, the soil and whatnot. He really rides well in these situations.
Here comes a 14. Windham's on the charge. He's reeling in Millsaps. Battle between the Honda stablemates over third place right now.
And Kevin Windham just did something no one has done all night. He tripled all the way through that section and is still trying to take that position from Millsaps.
Can't get it done.
This is huge, Ralph. If Windham can nail this, that could be an extra half a second or more each lap that he can pick up.
He's going to need it, Jeff, because Reed is already almost 2.5 seconds in front of Short. And Windham's trying to catch him. Boy, he was way off the bike there.
Windham really letting him hang out right now.
Well, he's got it, because look at the challenges coming behind from Millsaps and Dungey.
Watch Windham here. He triples over the tabletop, triples the next section, and triples in. Look at how much speed and how much ground he made up on Millsaps.
That was truly spectacular. Kevin Windham into the podium. Running his third right now. And Millsaps, last week's winner, dealing with the Supercross debut of Ryan Dungey.
The biggest problem for all these riders is that Chad Reed's last lap turned a 45.6-second lap time. That is smoking. Short's at a 47. Windham was even at a 47.
Kevin Windham on the 14, the only rider so far this year to finish in the top 5 in every single round.
Watch how Millsaps is really apexing that turn and that finish line turn well. He is closed up to the back of Windham. Here comes Windham on the outside.
He's right alongside. Here he comes. Contact. Millsaps fighting to stay upright. Windham just rolls on. The bigger problem, Jeff, they're continuing to lose ground to Reed. Reed is now 4.5 seconds in front of Short, who's running in front of these guys.
And I don't think they can count on Chad Reed to make a mistake here. These riders have got to find something special and do it on their own, because Chad Reed is riding absolutely perfect laps right now as this battle for second is really heated up. Look how well, for third, Dungey is on the gas.
He is really charging hard. And Jeff, remember, Dungey is embroiled in a huge battle right now with Jason Lawrence with 1 round left to go for the Supercross Lights West Coast title. Dungey had the points lead for the majority of that season, saw it slip away in the last round. This is going to be a huge boost of confidence for him to be able to come to the bigger Supercross class, get a good ride, maybe a podium out of this, and then go back to face Lawrence in Seattle in a couple of weeks.
Well, there's no doubt that Ryan Dungey needs to cleanse his mind of what happened in the Lights West division so far this year. No better way than to keep racing, keep working hard, and race against the top Supercross racers in the world. Right now, he has to be having a great time out there. This is what these racers live for.
And now Josh Hill closes in onto this battle as well on the Yamaha number 40. There you see him in the blue-white riding gear. Josh Hill, he was the fastest qualifier today.
And Hill really excels on this type of track. Hailing from the great Northwest, these type of wet courses where the dirt is soft and rutted, this is what he grew up racing.
Talking to his trainer Ryan Hughes this morning, he said they found some things with the bike and with Josh this week, and it seems to be paying off, because here he comes on Dungey. He's going to take that position away.
He just stole that position. That was a double, triple, and he just really came through there with a lot of momentum. Squared up that turn. Now, he took the position, but he lost a lot of time on Davey Millsaps in the process, so he's going to have to forget about what's behind him, or actually pull away from Dungey at this point, try to get some sort of cushion where he can focus on himself. But Dungey, he's not giving up anytime soon.
No, that was for 5th as we go to the leader. Chad Reed, there he is, 7.6 seconds in front of Short. About the only thing that can hurt Reed right now is a mistake in traffic.
Well, and this is the type of track also that the lap riders that are really struggling back in the field, they have a greater chance of making a lot of mistakes. And Chad Reed, just to give you the reason why that is significant is because Chad Reed is turning a 47-second lap time. The riders that are at the back of the field right now are upwards of 51 seconds. That's a 4-second 5-second difference.
There you see Short, and look at Windham reeling in Short. Short's best finish of the year, by the way, was in third last week, and now he's holding on to second if he can keep Windham behind him. Reed last week was sixth, by far his worst finish. The first time he was out of the top 5 all year. In fact, Reed had a finish worse than second this season, twice. Once to Stewart at Phoenix and Windham at the round in Houston.
Well, you got a feeling that these Honda boys have really got a taste for that podium and how sweet it is to be able to spray the champagne at the end of every race. That's why these guys are battling them out. Josh Hill also had a podium this year, so these riders are really fighting to get on that top 3.
Halfway through this main event, and now Hill is really closing in on Millsaps as they get ready to battle it out for fourth.
Hill actually turned a 46-second lap time last time around.
Best lap of the night of 45.5 by Chad Reed. The thing I like about Josh Hill, he's a very happy guy. Every time you talk to him, he's smiling. Really feels positive about what he's doing.
Yeah, he really has got a great attitude. I think he knows that this is a long journey. This is his first season here in the Supercross, and he's exceeded everyone's expectations, except maybe his own.
Trying to get around the 43 bike of Gibson. Chad Reed working by Jacob Marsack. Didn't get the best run into that rhythm section, but he continues to lead here in the RCA Dome in Indianapolis. Chad Reed on the number 22 Yamaha, leading here at the RCA Dome. 5 times he's been on the podium here. He's never won. That might come here tonight. Progressive whole shot replay now, Jeff.
Look right in the middle of your screen here. You're going to see a blue fender shoot out of the middle. Look at that, all by himself coming down. Keeps it pretty close to the middle there. I'm telling you, like I said before, the key to this race here of winning was getting that whole shot. Chad Reed is proving me right.
Tremendous start by Dungey, too. He came out of there second, but this is the fight for second. Here comes Windham! Up inside of his Honda stablemate. Or Millsaps, I should say.
Millsaps has worked his way past Windham.
That must have taken place while we were gone, because I never saw that happen.
And you can throw a blanket over 2nd through 6th right now. Dungey's hanging on the back of this group here. Windham's in there. Windham.
Like Millsaps has really gotten inspired in the final stages of this one in the second half. That's where the training really comes through.
Oh, at this point, there's no, I mean, this is when you have to really start to dig deep. We're a little bit past halfway here.
Windham really starting to drift back because Short and Hill have both gotten around him, and Ryan Dungey is closing in. You got to wonder what's going wrong with Windham.
And look at Windham's body language right now. He makes another huge mistake, and Ryan Dungey almost lands on that tough block. Windham, though, his body language tells me something's wrong. He's really started to back off the pace.
He's struggling. And Short and Hill battling. And Hill gets inside Andrew Short and goes way wide coming into that rhythm section.
So Andrew Short gives up another position.
But then comes right back. And they swap it again. Great battle between Hill on the blue 40 and Short on the red 29.
Some serious pain being traded here between the blue and red guys.
And the mechanics cheering them on as they go deep into the corner once again.
Short really tries to stick it in on Hill. You see Hill looks back there. Wants to try to separate himself now.
Meanwhile, here's Ryan Dungey battling with the great veteran Kevin Windham. And Dungey gets inside, stands him up and completes the pass. Well, Windham is drawn from second all the way back to 6th.
And that was after he worked his way up to second. So something's going on with Windham, whether it's physical or something with the bike, losing positions and points drastically.
Yeah, huge. And this would be the first time Kevin Windham would have finished outside the top 5 all year if it finishes this way.
But the way the night's going with 6 laps left in this main event, you never know what's going to happen. So many mistakes by the riders here tonight. This track has been so difficult for them. That's what's promoted that, but no mistakes for number 22.
But he's been so smooth, Jeff. Down to a 45.5, his best lap of the night.
see all the ruts as Chad Reed comes through, seat bounces that triple into the turn. Chad Reed really feeling the flow here tonight.
How much of an advantage do you think it is to be able to design your own track? Do you think we're going to see a lot of this year, guys winning on their own track design?
Well, he just visually had an idea of how the flow was going to be. All of the teams get the track designs, but Chad Reed really visualized what he wanted to do, and he's executing it here tonight.
Windham won on his design in Houston, and Reed well on his way to doing the same here in Indianapolis. Goes by the 44 machine at Troy Adams, I should say. He's back in 12.
Well, and the only riders that have not won on the tracks that they designed were riders that were hurt, and they didn't get a chance to race it. So I'm sure Stewart, Tedesco, everybody was really looking forward to that.
Ricky Carmichael will do the track at Daytona. That's the next stop on the tour.
Look at that line coming out of there. It's so difficult to get the bike leaned in and then stand it back up and get through those whoops. This is when the track has really got a lot of ruts. There's a lot of holes, a lot of square edges shaping up. So Chad Reed mentioned he's won many a Supercross race. He knows exactly what to do right now to keep himself out of trouble.
Closing in on David Vuillemin, that means he'll be lapping to 11. Reed just continuing to work his way through.
So smooth.
Oh, Davey Millsaps is down. Davey Millsaps is off in between two different lanes in the rhythm sections. He was running second. That'll put Josh Hill to second and Andrew Short to third.
And look at the tough block. The track worker moved out of the way. Millsaps could not even lift his bike up because that tough block was wedged in there. So much disappointment Davey Millsaps has to be feeling after just an incredible main event that he's rode up to that point.
Meanwhile, Reed just continues to sail on. And for him, not only a win in a place that he had never won at, but finally the momentum turns back his way, and he's able to stop the big red machine of Honda and increase his points lead for the first time in 2 weeks.
That's got to be a great feeling for Chad Reed right now. A little less than 3 laps to go. You see him lapping David Vuillemin on the Suzuki, who's just had a horrible night.
Vuillemin had moved up to 10th, so he's lapped all the way up into the top 10. The only bright spot for Vuillemin tonight was a win in the last chance qualifier. Well, Millsaps is back on the course, but no idea what caused him to go off. Here's Travis Preston. Travis running in 7th. Factory Kawasaki rider. Millsaps all the way back to 12th.
A couple of Yamahas up front. Chad Reed and Josh Hill dominating here late in the race in Indianapolis. Big Blue back up on top.
Yep, and they've got Nathan Ramsey running in 6th as well. And Josh Hill running in 2nd, so a pretty good night over at Yamaha. And Josh Hansen running in 10th, so that's 4 Yamahas in the top 10.
Yeah, the only other Yamaha rider there was Charles Sami. He's actually down on the course right now. That was the yellow flags that you just seen.
And he crashed, and we're on the final lap. Chad Reed had never won in Indianapolis. 5 times he's been on the podium. Yamaha hadn't won here since 2002. They had 3 wins here. About to get their 4th. The RCA Dome. This is the final ticket buying event to be held in this famed venue, and Chad Reed is going to close out the history of this facility with a big win.
And more importantly, this gets him back on track. He'll get that confidence boost, really going into Daytona here, which is such a confidence race. What a ride by Chad Reed.
Came in with an injured hand after crashing in Atlanta, celebrating, standing up, popping wheelies. One more trip through the loops, and Chad Reed has done it. He wins the final race in the RCA Dome. Yamaha will take the top 2 spots as Josh Hill takes another podium. Andrew Short gets on the podium with 3rd. Dungey's going to finish 4th, and Kevin Windham's going to keep his string of top 5s going as he finishes in 5th. We'll be right back.
2006 and 2007 National Outdoor Lights Champion, 2007 Motocross of Nations Champion, riding on the Pro Circuit Kawasaki 250F. Women want him. Men want to be him. Introducing Ryan Villapoto.
Rookies.
Wake up!